and welcome to another episode of Beyond Loss, Loving Life with Karen Chaston. I'm Karen Chaston, as you probably gathered. Love for you to let me know where you're from, what's happening in your life. Here we are, just, a few days before Christmas, which is amazing. And of course, loss is something that really a lot of people are not sure how to move beyond loss, and they get stuck, especially in the holiday season. So I'm here to assist in any way that I can. So please let me know where you're from. I am just about to draw a card. One card is all I ever draw on any show, which is for everyone, whether you're watching it live or in the replay. This card that I'm about to draw from the beautiful Marcia Quinton's channeled spiritual guidance cards is for everyone. Hello, Raylene from Darwin. Great to see you. I don't do readings. I don't do individual readings. I help people to move beyond loss and create their better everyday life. And with over 40 different loss events and the fact that we have a lack of loss intelligence, it's really important for us to actually understand that you don't have to grieve and suffer. You don't have to get stuck. You can move beyond any kind of loss. Receive the gift. Hello, Mama G. Great to see you from Kia Ora in New Zealand. Okay, this is the card, as I said, for everybody. Where am I going to take? Top or bottom, top or bottom, top or bottom, top or bottom? I'm actually going to go bottom. Oh, wow. Look at this card. We can clearly, let me get the lights right. How beautiful is that? Mother Nature. What a great card. And it's clear to see that it is about Mother Nature. And, when we get Mother, okay, Raylene, I've just said we don't do cards, okay? I only do cards for the group, okay? If you don't want to stay, that's fine. But anyway, Mother Nature is for everyone. Mother Nature resides within us all. We are all connected. She resides within us all and has reached out to remind you that you need her gentle healing powers. Come forth. She is calling you. She beckons you to sit within her realm and feel the lushness of nature surrounding you. Get it in your head. Isn't that what that card is saying? Like that picture? Get it in your head that nature is calling you, and feel the lushness of nature surrounding you. Feel her strength. Let go of the negative vibrations. Take a yearning. Today, a yearning has overcome you to connect with nature and to let her energy flow through your whole being. Let her fill you with the natural energy of the earth and all the earthly elements. So lift up your spirits and rejoice. Okay. It is a beautiful card. And do you know what? Good to see you, Timothy, from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Every time I see Milwaukee, it takes me way back to Laverne and Shirley and Happy Days. And you probably hate hearing that. But anyway, that's where it takes me. I'm sure it's a beautiful place to live, Timothy. And okay, hello, Kelly. Nice to see you. I lost my 14-year-old in January 2020 to suicide. Kelly, my heartfelt condolences. It's not easy to lose anyone, and it's not easy to lose a son. I personally have experienced that. You didn't actually say whether it was your son. You just said your 14-year-old, so I apologize if it was your daughter. And, it's not easy. It is never easy. My son, Dan, if you've watched me before, passed away in July 2011, so just over 10 years ago, since we have had beautiful Dan in our life. But all I know from my experience is that we grieve and suffer when someone we love, leaves this realm. We grieve and suffer when someone we love leaves our, relationship, stops having a relationship with us. And there is no hierarchy in loss, because every relationship is unique, and there is no way that we can ever know, what a relationship between two people is ever like, unless you are part of it. And even then, we have misunderstandings and we have things that happen that we're not really sure about. But what I do know from my journey is that every single loss that comes into your life, it comes with a gift. And the gift isn't in the event on where what happened. The gift is who you become after it. There's so many lessons for you to learn. There's so many things for you to be able to deep dive in. And I don't know where you're at, but I truly do just want to give you your email. Yes, it was your son. It's funny how I felt that. Here's my email address. More than happy to have a conversation. I don't expect anything from it. But I do know that it's not easy when I need to type my name right, otherwise the email won't be right. Karen@karenchaston.com.au. If you would like to have a chat, more than happy to be here for you, Kelly. And then now, Christy. I don't do individual readings. I am a beyond loss expert. Sure, I'm intuitive. We're all intuitive. And sure, we're all connected to the other side. We all have guides. We all can do these things. Okay. So if you want to stay, Christy. But if you don't, I won't be offended. Believe me. I understand. Right, that I'm on a platform where people expect readings and stuff like that. But I'm here to help people to move beyond loss. And what I have found is through my 10-year journey from losing my son, and look, we've all had a whole lot of loss events in our lives. And I'll bring up my list because it's really important for us all to understand that we all will have multiple major losses throughout our lives. And so often we don't understand loss. Thank you. And what I don't, is most of us don't know what to do. We have a lack of loss intelligence. Okay. It's not as though we ever had a class that actually showed you, right, when loss comes into your life, and loss will come into your life, not just once, multiple times in multiple different ways. As you can see by that list, we all have experienced some form of loss. And because of our lack of loss intelligence, most of us don't know what to do. We get stuck. We don't like the way we feel. So we may even go into avoidance. And we may do all of these things which are not ideal for us personally, for all areas of our lives, for our relationships, for our health. They all may suffer because of this lack of loss intelligence. And that's why I do what I do. Because when Dan passed, I did it the hard way. I followed all of these cliches and this way that we have been doing it for centuries and centuries and centuries, which basically comes down to just keep busy, give it time, and everything will be all right. Well, I'm here to tell you that it won't be all right, because the more that you avoid what has happened, the more that you will have this outburst. It's like you're shoving it down, and we can be shoving it down with so many different avoidance tactics. If you look at the world at the moment, we have so many things in our life which come down to, I'm just going to mask it over and I'm going to avoid feeling what I don't want to feel. Food, alcohol, drugs, we all know comfort, that's comfort. It's a way of us just passing out and avoiding life. Anger. Anger can be such a huge avoidance tactic. And it could be you directing it at someone else or someone directing it at you. Just recently I was talking to someone and they are pretending everything's all right in their life. And I know that it's not, because I've been seeing what's going on. And I had this conversation with them and I said, it's, what's going on? And they just came back and they just said, with anger and anger and anger. And that's their avoidance tactic. Because when they get they spray the anger at someone else, people just back off and leave them alone. And that is an avoidance tactics that they have developed over and over and over all of their lives because it's worked. If I get angry, people won't ask me questions and then I can keep it private. But the problem is that when you are avoiding what's going on in your life, it's like a kettle or a pressure cooker. So it's coming up and you let a little bit out and then you shove more down and then you let a little bit out. And I have to say that what happens is eventually it all comes out at the most inopportune moment. And that's why I do what I do, to help people to realize that they can move beyond any kind of loss and create their better everyday life. And it's not about them forgetting whatever happened. Now, just a moment. And it's not as though, I've lost my train of thought, but that's okay. There's no problem with that at all. So what it is when we understand what our avoidance tactics is, we can then stop, right? And that's what I wanted to talk to you about is it's not about us keeping busy and getting on with life. It truly is about us stopping, because it's in the stopping that we get to take that beautiful, conscious, loving breath. Now, do you know what a conscious, loving breath is? A conscious, loving breath is where you get to consciously breathe in all the way down into your belly so that your belly actually comes out like a Buddha belly. And when you breathe in like that, the beautiful thing is you can feel all of the love, your power, your strength, just breathing in, the oxygen converting into your body, all of that amazing things. And we have our breath, and most of us don't breathe properly. We shallow breathe. We breathe to here, but we don't breathe all the way into our body. And what happens is when you consciously breathe all the way into your body, all of your cells get a hit, right? Not just from here to here, right, in that little channel. All of your cells get a hit because when you breathe into your belly, you're enacting the nerve endings of the vagus nerve, which goes from your belly all the way up into your brain, into your hypothalamus gland. And that is what then spreads it into every single cell of your body. And when you breathe like that, you then start to feel, right? And it's not sadness. It's, you can feel anything: joy, love, happiness, connection. So often when we're going through loss, we truly do feel alone. No one understands us. No one wants to talk about it. No one wants to think about it. No one, very rarely does someone even know what to say. And that's the thing. We say these flippant comments, these cliches that have been said for centuries and centuries and centuries. Things like, oh, I'm sorry for your loss. And it's like we tick a box and then we can move on and go back to our own life. But what the thing is, we don't realize how a flippant cliche at someone can actually affect them. I had horrendous things said to me at Dan's funeral. Things like, you're lucky you have other children. And you sort of go, what? What the hell? I've just lost one son, and sure, I do have other children. But, it's like Sophie's Choice. Well, okay, I'm okay because I have other children. So therefore, Dan's life didn't really matter. People unconsciously, they just say these things because they're uncomfortable, right? And I'm not angry at that person. This is probably why, one of the reasons why I do what I do is to assist in educating people to understand that loss is a part of life. We are all going to pass. We may not want to think about it, but we are all going to pass. The date has been set. Sure, it's not on our birth certificate, but the date has been set. And it could be, in a short time, or it could be in 20, 30 years. But the thing is, when you think about it, how quickly does each year go? So it's around the corner, right? And sometimes we spend our entire life not living and loving our life. We get caught up in all of the things that have happened in our life. And, as Kelly has just said, she's blessed for the years that she shared with her boy. I'm not sure, coronial documents now. Oh my God, I have so much having to prove medical negligence and misconduct. So I now believe I've been chosen to have a voice that will create change to mental health and service because they have. Oh, beautiful, Kerry. I'm going to share this because it's really, Kelly, I should say, sorry. It's beautiful that you are actually doing this. And see, this is the gift. So thank you for writing this, because this is the gift of loss. You know what I mean? So often people go to me, how can you call your process that you assist people with the gift of loss? Like, where is the gift in losing your parents or losing your child or having a divorce or losing your job? How can there possibly be a gift? And, there is a gift. It's all about you becoming the person you are meant to be. Now, Kelly, the fact that you and your beautiful boy, sorry, Elizabeth, right, but I do agree, so true. So you and your beautiful boy, right, have been on this journey together. And even though he's in a different realm now, he is still with you. Because what happens with loss and every relationship is there's three aspects of every relationship. First one is the physical. That's the way we hang out together, the things we do, the things we say. I just seem to have a bit of a nickel in my throat. So it's the things we do, the things we say, how we hang out together, how we touch each other. That's the physical aspect of a relationship. Then there's the emotional. And the emotional is all encompassing of the good, the bad, the glad, and the sad. And every relationship has that. There is no relationship that just has a total good all the way through it. And how boring would that be? Because it's through the ups and downs that you realize how much you love each other. And we all will have things come at us, and then we're not going to get out of here. No one has a life like that. And let's face it, if you compare your life to the heartbeat on a heartbeat monitor, when it's a straight line, it means you're dead. It's the ups and downs which represent that you have a heartbeat, that your life is full of activities. So when you think of it that way, it really does assist you. So when you take the time to give yourself that conscious loving breath, you stop, right? And that's when you can ask yourself questions. Because I believe that the quality of your life will always come back to the quality of the questions that you ask yourself. And especially during any sort of adversity, we all have a choice. We all have a choice on how we react, okay? Whether we're going to see it as an up or a down, because it really is up to you on how you view the way that you then move forward. But in order to consciously do it, we need to stop. Because when we stop, right, we can actually take the time to not only ask the questions, but to answer the questions. Because it's in the answer that you get those action steps on how you move forward. It could be questions like, what does this mean for me now? What does this mean for me moving forward? Think about it. What are some of the things that I'd like to stop doing? What are some of the things I'd like to start doing? What are some of the things that I can continue doing? It's through finding the answers to these questions that we start to become the person who we came here to be. Because we've got to deep dive into the scenario of what's happened to say, is this ideal or isn't it ideal? Is it ideal for me? Is it ideal for the world? Or is there something that I can change to assist others to walk that easier path than what I did? You know, the reason why I do what I do is because, as I said, I just kept busy and I kept carrying on after Dan passed. I literally went back to work the day after his funeral. I worked more, I ate more, I drank more. I was in total avoidance until 15 months later, where I'm pretty sure the universe had said, Karen, you were meant to wake up when Dan passed. And because you didn't, here's your next loss event. And I'm pretty sure that if I didn't wake up then, they would have thrown me another one and another one and another one until I woke up. You saw that there was over 40 different loss events that can affect all of our lives. And that's why it's so important for us to deep dive into what has happened in the stopping phase, right? Deep dive in. What does this mean for me now? What does this mean for me moving forward? What can I learn from this? Where is the gift? Where's the lesson? How can I make a difference so this doesn't have to happen to someone else? Kelly, I'm going to share your comment. I haven't read it. I hope it's all right. I so understand what you're saying. It all resonates with me. My boy has given me the strength to be strong. Someone has to change the system, and my boy is guiding me and giving me the strength to keep going forward. And that is so true, Kelly. I say exactly the same thing about Dan. You know, I was the CFO of a publicly listed company, so I was an accountant, a CPA, okay? And who would have thought that I would have become an international best-selling author, an international speaker? I've spoken in front of 1,200 people very early on, probably 2 years after Dan passed. And I was never one of those people who would put myself out there. I used to look at my bosses when they were talking in front of all of these people and think, wow, aren't they great? There's no way I could ever do that. They just know what to say and they know how to command the audience and really, you know, be funny when they're meant to and be serious when they're meant to. And I really did, in hindsight, hold myself back. Sure. Talking about financials is probably not something you can get passionate about. And what I talk about now, I'm very passionate about because I know how important it is for the human race, for us to deep dive into our loss events and not to stop us in its track. You know, so often you see so many people that, you know, a tragedy will come into their lives and all of a sudden their life is over. Their health is affected. All areas of their life is affected. All their relationships are affected, all because they didn't know what to do. They found themselves on the ground, not sure how to get back up, and then they chose not to. And the rest of their life just becomes a blur. And they leave here not the beautiful, amazing person that they were. They were beaten by life. And we see it so often. There are so many people, just by the way they walk. Are they standing tall? Do they have a straight back? Are they walking along? No. You can see so many people. They're hunched over, the weight of the world on their shoulders, all because life has taken its toll on them because they didn't know what to do when loss came to visit. They didn't know how to move beyond that job loss They didn't know how to move beyond their parents passing. They felt like an orphan and they lived the rest of their life that way. They just lost that connection to who they are. But it doesn't have to be that way. And that's why I do what I do and I love what I do. You know, my book, Demystifying Loss, as I said, has become an international bestseller because it is something that we all require. We don't deep dive into loss enough. We certainly deep dive into love. You know, how many apps are out there for you to assist you to find love, assist you to improve your relationship, assist you to be a better parent or to be a better employee. There are so many things about loving life, but there's not much about loss. We all are going to have multiple major losses throughout our life. Okay? And this is why I love to assist people to know how to easily move beyond any kind of loss and create their better everyday life. That's all what I do. And this is why I don't read cards. I don't tell you, the future. You design your own future. You are the master you are seeking. You have all of the answers inside of you, but it does take time for you to do that deep dive. We have these answers. We don't trust our gut. Okay? We're too busy in our head. We don't trust our heart a lot of the time, and we don't trust our gut. We have three brains. And the more that we realize we have three brains, our mind, our heart, and our gut, and we start to tune into them, especially our heart and our gut, that we will start to know that we have a mind, body, and soul. And there's a reason why we have all of those things. There's a reason why we have guides with us, whispering in our ears. And I love the fact that Kelly said that her boy has given her strength. Of course he has. I know for a fact that Dan is continually whispering in my head. He plants these ideas in my head. I know it. The things that I have done in the 10 years since he passed, there is no way I would have done them if he'd been still in this realm. That's the gift. And my gift is moving it forward, passing it forward, educating people that we don't have to grieve and suffer. We can become the person who we want to become. Now, I'd like to share with you my Chaston Centre, right? You can see love for you to come along. Just visit it. It's the chastoncenter.com. You can see how my name is spelt. Centre is CENTRE. And you can download, if you go to the bookshelf, you can download Demystifying Loss. And I highly recommend that you read the book. I give you the 5-step process of the gift of loss. I assist you to deep dive into our avoidance tactics, into our cliches. I assist you to deep dive into you, because that is where all your answers are. That is where you can become the person who you came here to be, inside of you. It's not outside. It's not outside. It's all inside you. But sometimes we just need someone to grab our hand and assist us to deep dive inside of us. And that's what this book is about. As always, reach out if you have any questions. My email address is in the thread. You can go to the Chaston Centre. You can book a time to have a chat with me. And of course, more importantly, remember that you are magnificent. You are here. You are the only person you are going to spend your entire life with. There is no one else that you spend 24/7 with. So it's time for you to realize that you are here to live a magical life and to make each day meaningful, memorable, and magical. So thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth. from Scotland. Oh my God, I so want to go to Scotland. You know, that was always on my bucket list, but I've always just have never been in a real hurry to get there. And I think it's because I've spent so many other lives in Scotland. So I hope you're enjoying it there. And thank you for tuning in, because it's pretty late in Scotland at the moment, isn't it? Isn't it something like, is it 1:30? I'm not sure if it's 1:30 or 9:30. I've got a feeling that it's 9:30. I think that's what it is. But anyway, as always, I'm over time. I'll see you here again on Thursday, 11 a.m. Queensland, and obviously noon in New South Wales and Victoria, and the rest of the world can work it out from there. So thank you, and remember, take the time to stop. Bye for now.